Buaha Cúpla Focal Raw or Ceathrú or Son of Bill Shin, and I want to compliment Deputy Osnodig and indeed Sinn Féin Party for this very important private member's bill here today. And we see the typical political stances taken by the main parties, and especially Fianna Fáil, when I know through some research that Senator, former, now Minister Dáil Éireann, when he was a Shanador, brought forward a bill, and this bill is kind of modelled really on that. So it's amazing how, as the last speaker said, when you get your Bondone into the nice surroundings of a ministerial car, you can forget your principles, forget your ideals, forget our heritage, and forget what the people and the significance of what they did to give us the freedom to be able to rent this dastardly place here that's so big and so and so expensive to sit here during this pandemic. But I think it's vital that we preserve our heritage. It's vital that we have that those people recognised. And while I'm at it, I hope, Cahill, you'll allow me to mention the great Sean O'Tracy, who lost his life in Talbot Street. And you'd have to look with a magnifying glass to find the plaque on the wall. That we can't have, just off our main thoroughfare, a proper and fitting monument to salute the heroic sacrifice that Sean O'Tracy made with many, many others, and the gallant way he fought for our freedom. And a plaque that's not even cleaned, and you wouldn't even see it. If a stranger walked down, it's up high in the wall, and it's barely visible. So I think it's a shame that we give such little, recognition of our patriots. And to create a cultural quarter for the inner city, to boost tourism and equally to increase footfall to the local economy in the area, that's an excellent idea. We can't have the country just plundered and literally raped by developers for their own profits. We need to have, cultural quarters. We need to have areas like this preserved and protected and maintained, and a living city with our famous and renowned song and dance and poetry, and indeed our star freshen. Garcrod Marshin. We see today that the whole heritage of our practice and any religion or any faith is banned here. We're one of only 3 countries in the world, Saudi Arabia and North Korea. Goodness, I didn't think we'd be championing to get to the top of that line. So we need to recognise where we came from. Our heritage, as I said, a very rich heritage. And we need to have it, first of all, it's great to have historians and write about it, but we need to have it a living memory. And this is an excellent bill by Deputy Osnodig, and I don't know what position the government are taking on it, but I wouldn't be surprised, because as someone said, it's a different position every day. It depends on the weather forecast, I think, and what way the wind is blowing. Sorry. Cahill, look, I want to say that we in the Rural Independents are supporting this legislation and support it wholeheartedly. And indeed, I took a stroll out here last week. We were here 2 weeks ago with Deputy Collins and down the back here, down near Shuttle Street. And to see the residents down there, they're very living people, not talking about history and heritage. They're living, and the way they have been swallowed up by greed and developers, hotels and apartments, and their life ruined. And when they saw us walking, they knocked on the windows, would we wait and talk to them for a minute, a lovely gentleman. And he explains that he got little support from any political parties to stop that madness that went on there, that any houses, we're out in the country, we're trying to get planning for a house, if it's overshadowing our house, or if it's in any way affecting the views. These people have been just swallowed up. I expect to live in those conditions. It's a scandal and shouldn't be happening, so we're supporting this piece of legislation today. Gormagood.